Hello, I'm Camilla.
And I'm Jacob. Security.
Security.
Please.
Security.
You good?
Oh.
All right, she's cool.
Oh. Welcome to the 14th Annual Teen Read Writing Video and Poster Award Ceremony. Woo.
Hey, Camilla, you should tell everyone that joke that you told me earlier. It'll kind of break the ice.
I don't think they'll like it.
No, you'll be fine. Go for it.
Okay. Okay, so a cow walked into a library and... Oh, my God. What are you doing?
He wanted to hear the joke.
He?
Yes, Alfred. He wanted to hear the joke. He's our third host.
No, Jacob. Put him away.
Okay, maybe next year.
Okay, so time to be serious. So tonight we have the privilege of introducing a very creative group of teens that excel in poetry, prose, and visual expression.
The competition was brutal this year. We received entries from students in public schools, private schools, and homeschool groups all over Seminole County. The library system is very grateful for everyone's participation.
The winning entries were chosen based on content, creativity, originality, and use of language, and visual clarity. That's a lot. For their efforts, the winning students will be receiving your applause and the satisfaction of a job well done. Woo!
Come on, you can't forget about the money.
Ah, yes, the money.
Yes, thanks to a generous donation by the Seminole County Friends of the Library, the 10 short story and poetry winners will receive $50, the 6 poster winners will receive $50, and the 6 video winners will receive $100. Christy Patton, Library Services Manager, is here tonight to present the awards. Ms. Patton, thank you, and thank you to the Friends of the Library for all you do.
I hope there's a poem about dinosaurs. I'd pay $100 to hear that.
I love dinosaurs. You see, my favorite dinosaur is the thesaurus. I've read all about him on the Wikipedia.
And now it's time for the winners.
The winners will be coming forward one student or a group at a time to present their winning entry.
Let's get started. Would the first winner please come to the podium? Let's give them a hand.
Thank you. First of all, my name is not Mariah Clinkscales. Just wanted to let you know. Or Rachel Devlin. I am the father of Mariah Clinkscales. My name is Eric Clinkscales. She is a budding videographer. She has a lot of interest in television production. And she and her friend Rachel put together a video called Amazing Books. The reason she could not be here this evening is because she is a trombonist, and there is an MPA concert over at Lyman tonight. So she kind of had to go there and play, otherwise she'd be in a little bit of trouble. So here is the video, Amazing Books. Thank you. We spared no expense on all the technical things there.
Hi, my name is Karen Zhang. I go to Haggerty High School, and my teacher's name is Mrs. Darling. My poster was based on the book Pet Sematary by Stephen King, who writes mainly science fiction and horror books. So I got my inspiration from looking at horror movie posters and by watching some of the films that were based on his books. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Elijah Shaner. I'm 12 years old. I go to the Shaner Academy. My teacher is my dad. This is my friend. My story is called Daughter of Aries. This is my friend Anna Maria. She's going to be helping me read it. And I'm trying not to pass out. I wake to a horrified scream. There it is again. I hop out of bed and get dressed. I peek out the door to see if there's anyone there. I don't see anything, so I walk out to the living room. Everything looks fine, except for a note on the couch. I pick up the note and immediately recognize my mom's handwriting. James, I know you're not going to believe me, but your father is the Greek god Hephaestus. That means you are half god, half human. The war god Ares has sent 3 of his sons to capture me, Phobos, Deimos, and Kohallos, a demigod. They're going to hurt me if you don't come to 992 Martin Luther King Boulevard, Long Beach, tomorrow night. My name's James West. I'm 15, and apparently half god. I have braces, but not the kind you're thinking of. They're on my legs. They suck. And make it really easy for Cole Hollis to beat me up pretty much all the time. My mom and I live in a little 1-bedroom apartment in San Jose, California. She has a minimum wage job, and my dad left her before I was born. Oh, and apparently he's a god too, which actually explains a lot, like my leg braces. The god Hephaestus had weak legs when he was born, so he made himself the first leg braces. And he's the blacksmith's god, which explains why I'm good with tools and machines. 20 minutes later, I was on a train headed to Long Beach. I have the bare necessities and my knife. My seat is in the very back cabin. I walk up, and there's a girl my age sitting across from my seat.
Hey, I'm Atlanta. Do I know you?
Not that I know of. My name's James. And then all of a sudden I hear Hephaestus in my head. He says, James, this girl will help you. She is the daughter of Apollo the sun god. Look at her bracelet. I look at her bracelet, and it's 3 of Apollo's symbols. The sun, a lyre, and an arrow.
Why are you going to Long Beach?
I don't think she'll believe me if I tell her, but Hephaestus said she could help me. So I start talking and tell her the story. When I finish, her eyebrows are literally to the roof.
Whoa, craziest explanation ever. And your dad, Hephaestus, my dad, is Apollo, the sun god?
Yeah, your bracelet has 3 of his symbols on it.
My mom did say that my dad gave me this bracelet when I was a baby.
That makes sense.
All right, let's plan for when we go.
Our car is slowing down drastically. I run to the front of the car and fling the door open to find out why. The coupling holding us to the next train car is melted, and I can see the train taking a turn up ahead. I would have fallen out the door if Atlanta hadn't grabbed my shirt and pulled me back. Then a huge dragon flies by. Suddenly there's a flaming hole blown in the side of the car. I take a few steps back and try and remember some of the dragons from Greek mythology. Helios the Titan had 2 dragons called the solar dragons. I've seen paintings of them that look a lot like the dragons I saw at the hole. When Helios was in charge of the sun, the dragons had pulled his chariot. But after the Titans lost the war, Apollo took over the sun. And maybe, Atlanta, I think that since your dad is Apollo, you should be able to control the dragon if you focus. And maybe we can ride it to Long Beach.
Okay, let me try.
She walks over to the burning hole in the side of the train car. The dragon is heading right for her. I dive to the floor and shout, Atlanta! I hit the ground and the wind is knocked out of me before I can finish. I close my eyes and brace myself, but I don't feel anything. Instead, I hear Atlanta laughing, so I peek out. The solar dragon is hovering right outside the train car, licking her.
I'm going to call you Meteor.
I get up. All right, let's get going. We get on Meteor and steer him in the direction of Long Beach, searching for the address. If you've ever been on a solar dragon, which I doubt you have, it's not that fun. You get really hot, and it's kind of uncomfortable, but it's fast. which is why 30 minutes later, we made it to the address Mom left in a note. A big, gray warehouse. Atlanta whispers something to Meteor, and then he roars and starts to burn a hole in the wall, but decides to just fly straight through. We crash in, and I jump off Meteor's back and go to pull out my knife. But instead, I'm holding a 3-foot-long gold sword. I wonder where that came from, Dad. I see my mom tied up in the corner. Cole is standing in the middle of the room with Phobos on his left, who's got black hair, black eyes to match, a crooked nose, and a broadsword strapped to his back. Demos is right next to Cole. He looks a lot like Phobos, but has blue eyes and a much smaller sword. Atlanta lands next to me. She's holding a golden bow and arrow, and has arrows in a quiver in her back. On her back. There must have been a blessing on the bracelet from her dad. Hey, Cole, how's life with 2 maniacs? Or brothers, though I still think they're the aforementioned maniacs. Would you just shut up and let us kill you already? Cole sneers.
You do realize we have a large dragon on our side, right?
Phobos turns to Atlanta and says, Yes, Princess, we realize that. Did you know that Demos and I can trick people into doing things by scaring them? He and Demos turn to Meteor. Then Meteor roars and flies out the way we came in.
Meteor!
She pulls an arrow out of her quiver and shoots straight into Phobos' chest. He screams, doubles over, and disappears. I use Cole and Demos' confusion at what happened to my advantage and run to my mom. I cut the ropes. Mom, hide now. Atlanta and I will take care of this. She hides behind some boxes. I turn to Demos and Cole. I charge them. Cole is still confused, but Demos realizes what's going on and draws his sword. I've never used a sword in my life, but somehow I know every move I need. Demos goes in for a thrust, but doesn't keep his sword high enough, so I swing my body to the left and bring my sword down on his, so hard that it snaps. I then pull back and stab him in the stomach. He falls over, grunts, and disappears. I turn to Cole. Get out of here. He turns and runs. Suddenly, I feel a piercing pain in my back. I hear Atlanta scream as I fall to the ground. In my last moments, I look up to see who stabbed me. Mom? Thank you.
Hello, my name is Tom Grotkoff. I'm from Haggerty High School. This is Jeremy Gass, and this is Keith Clowney, and we made the video Get Addicted. Our teacher is the wonderful Miss Donna Parker. I don't know if she's here. I haven't seen her today. Oh, look at that. There she is. Hello. So we kind of made this video, obviously, and it's kind of about getting addicted to reading, although it doesn't seem like that at first. So we just kind of like drew inspirations from, like, I'm sure you guys have seen the show Intervention, and they all have that like little powwow at the end. It's kind of like that, but it's me sitting in front of a psychiatrist explaining stuff, and it's interesting, and that's about it. My name's Tom Grotkoff, and I have an addiction. And this addiction, it drains me. It takes up all my time. I have nothing else to do. It takes up all my money. I've to hold 3 jobs just to feed it. I mean, it's a monster, and I have no way to deal with it. No way at all. I'll give it to you straight. I'm addicted to reading. There's no other way to put it.
It's okay. Any problem can be fixed. We just need the right... Wait. What?
Is that a problem?
That's not a problem at all. Aren't you doing better in school because you're reading?
I mean, now that you mention it, I guess I have been doing better in school since it started.
I'm done.
Hey, Doc! Hey, where you going? I paid for an hour. Doc!
Sorry.
Hi, my name is Michael.
and I'm accepting this for Abby Thompson. She couldn't be here tonight. She has a gymnastics competition, but this is her poster.
My name is Ashley Welch. My teacher is Miss Elizabeth Randall. I'm from Lyman High School, and I wrote the poem Fate. What does it feel like to be ignored? To be told that your dreams are impossible, and everything that you believe in is improbable? To be told that your place in the universe is insignificant, and you'll never accomplish anything magnificent? It's like solitary confinement. Your heart falls into your stomach, and the acid cracks and chips away at your fragile glass. You wish for someone to catch it and mend it, for someone to cherish and love it, for someone to hold it close and never let go. But that person doesn't exist, and that wish is stuck on your never-accomplished bucket list. You swim for the light at the surface, but this weight holds you down with no thought to set you free, and sinks you back into the cold, deep darkness far beneath the sea. But in the end, it can be fought. If happiness is certainly sought, believe in and love yourself, because personal acceptance is the key to true wealth. In every situation, you have a choice. You can shelter and water your buds in the winter so they can grow and blossom in the spring, or you can decide it's too cold anyways and never let them hear the birds sing. Do not count your steps through life, just take them. If someone is offended by that, do not backtrack and apologize. It's not your fault their sight is clouded with egoistic eyes. Just stand up tall and let your smile be. And feel sorry for them because they're blind while you can see. Keep hold of your mind because life isn't always kind, but being trapped in life isn't being put in a small room with a closed door. It's choosing to not open it into something more. The people who don't matter are all those with their mindless chatter, and the reality of your dreams is based on your own sewing at the seams. You were not blindly placed and immersed, but specifically chosen for this universe. You play only a small part in something so great, but you play a part in that, which isn't a coincidence, it's fate. So now, how does that feel?
Hello, my name is Jasmine Valenzuela. I am a student in Sanford Middle. My teacher is Miss Williams, and my poem is based on colors, but mine is called Black. Covering the land with his cloak, poisoning the sky with his venom. Animals bow down to his presence, leaving him to reign the silence. Breaking into homes, filling in all the corners. Awakening the monsters to create the disasters. He frees the evil from their cages. He drains the light from the creatures that disturb his kingdom. And on his throne, he rules the world.
Hello, my name is Rachel Wong. I'm from Oviedo High School. I'm a senior, almost there. My teacher is Kevin Patterson, who's here today. I would like to thank him for all the support and guidance he's given me for the past 4 years that I've been in TV production at Oviedo. And my video is a bit more serious than the previous two that were shown. It is about my friend Ilana Goldstein, when she took a trip to Israel that turned out to be a little different from what she thought it would be.
This past summer, Alana Goldstein, a recent Oviedo graduate, finally had the chance to go on her dream trip to Israel.
The program is called Birthright, and it's for Jewish college students, ages 18 to 26, and it's basically a free trip to Israel, and it's something I've heard about since I was a little girl.
But on the second day of her trip, at 1:15 in the morning, Alana was greeted with this sound.
Which we know means we need to go for shelter because a rocket will hit soon. So we had like a few seconds to run. And then as I was running towards the staircase,
a bomb hit nearby, less than 2 blocks away, less than a football field away.
and after that we went to the shelter inside the hotel and stayed there till like 3:30 in the morning.
They didn't expect anything out there because it was far away from the Gaza, but the rocket came from Egypt because some terrorists in Egypt didn't like the fact that Egypt was trying to assist with the ceasefire between Hamas and Israel.
But the nightmare is still not over.
The day she was coming back, I was even further alarmed because I found out the ground war was starting.
2 hours before my plane took off, the Ukraine plane was shot down.
I was in a state of grief, worry, and just, it was a very traumatic experience for me.
But through all this drama, there was a lot to be learned.
So my friend is Israeli. She told me, because she looks Israeli, that she needs to carry a book in her backpack to have protection in her back so that if a terrorist comes behind her and stabs her, there'll be a barrier. And I was really shocked by that. Their whole mentality there is different. They don't take things for granted, and they've been made tough by all the war they've experienced.
We didn't expect a war to start when you send your kid on a trip.
You wouldn't know there was a war going on, like looking at all the beautiful mountains and sights.
It just shows you in a minute at a time, in one moment, in one day, a lot can happen, a lot can change.
10 long days later, Alana finally came home.
I went to the airport with my husband and I just hugged her like I've never hugged her before, and she was like, "What are you doing?" She was so calm. She got the Smile Award for helping other kids there. And that I was really amazed with her, and I always said to myself, if there was one person that I would want to be like, it would be Alana.
Thank you.
Okay, my name is Jordan Valen, and I'm from the Masters Academy, and my teacher is Miss Christine Rowland. And this is my poem, Oh My Earth. Oh my beautiful flowers, for where have you gone? The zephyr that blew through your exquisite petals, gone. The hill where you once stood, gone, destroyed. A great machine takes its place, metallic, toxic, pumping sludge and more with fumes that cloud the air. Oh, my blue sky, for where have you gone? The clouds hang thick and black, sadly crying that you have vanished behind a malignant smog. You are gone, but we fervently wait for your return. Oh, my crystalline water, for where have you gone? Bogged by oil and spoliation, your pulchritude veiled. The resources you gave the world diminished. The more you were depleted, the more you were needed. We hymn a requiem, solemn and profound. Reconciliation is not possible, for you are destroyed. You are as a father that gave all he can. You are as a mother, exhausted and weak. But as for us that was loved, no reciprocation. Overwhelmed by contrition, we say to you, Earth, sorry.
Hi, I'm Cole Johnston, and I go to Crooms Academy of Information Technology. My teacher is Becky Fry, and this is my poster, Crazy Horse. I created it in Photoshop, and I chose this book because I really like American history.
I'm Yujin Bay, and my teacher is Caitlin Moore, and I'm from Indian Trails Middle School, and the entry I entered was Imagine Love. Love is the color of blazing sunrise that warms the land in others' hearts. It sounds like the purr of a mother cat as she gently washes her kittens. It tastes like the sweet golden honey that sticks to people's faces when they've eaten a honey sandwich. It has the sweet perfume of red roses that have been given with a fond heart. It looks like the entwining of tails as two cats stroll in the moonlight. It feels like a soft, fuzzy teddy bear that always awaits someone's hug. Love is the color of graceful baby pink flamingos as they wade along with their partners in the shallows. It is the cooing of doves as they rest on an olive branch that gently sways in the warm spring breeze. It tastes like the hot chocolate on a freezing cloudy winter evening as the first flakes of snow dance down from the sky. It tastes like the blooming lilies and it smells like the blooming lilies and lavenders in the spring when everything comes back to life. It looks like the sugar cookie shaped like a heart with pink frosting that awaits partly hidden on one's desk. It feels like a warm fur coat that one puts on in the chilly autumn wind that howls through the night. Love is multicolored and brighter than anyone can imagine, one shade or sparkle more beautiful than the last. The tinkle and twinkle of bells ring out with the sound of a loving heart. It has the taste of the sweetest chocolates that is even sweeter on Valentine's Day. It carries the scent of sharp autumn night breeze that tugs at people's hair, making them feel alive. It looks like two dragonflies when they have finally met their match. It feels like one's arms enveloping another to keep them warm and safe. Love is when two become one.
Wow, that was fantastic. We have heard from half of our winners, and now we'd like to thank those who have contributed to making tonight's night even happen. Seminole County Television is filming tonight's program and will air on SGTV cable channel in just a few months. Jacob, insert joke.
What?
Jacob, insert joke.
You were supposed to add a joke to the script last night.
Didn't have time, I was too excited.
Moving on. At this time, we would like to thank the teen volunteers that helped the library system this past year. There were 234 high school volunteers who logged 10,959 hours of service.
The teens help the library system in many ways. They perform miscellaneous tasks such as emptying the book drop, finding reserved books, summer reading registration, and craft projects.
They were very helpful in library programs such as the Summer Kickoff Kaboom Show.
Special needs story times, confetti clubs, and chess club.
And Party in the Park.
They also helped with shelving books.
Yep. They shelved lots and lots
and lots
and lots
and lots
of books.
And lots of books. The library system also has teen internships. Last summer, Camilla from East and another volunteer, Rick from the Northwest, were summer interns for the Northwest branch. Currently, there are interns at Castleberry, West, Northwest, and North branches. Speaking of your internship, why don't you tell us about it?
I'd love to. We worked on many interesting projects, such as creating and implementing a CSI scavenger hunt. We also helped develop a group called SCPL Teens on Goodreads. I'm personally inviting every teen here and all your friends to join our Goodreads group for book lists, book discussions, and more. Woo!
It's good stuff. Teens also attend teen programs such as Gingerbread Build. Open mic night, chessmates, and this program, Teen Read. Oh my goodness. Oh, look, Alfred, you look good. I look good too. They also attend the monthly Teen Library Councils, or TLCs. You see, TLCs are a group of teens that meet monthly to participate in fun activities such as
the making of mints.
I didn't get any mints.
Mint making.
I still didn't get any mints.
Game on. And light up the night. Teens also helped with programs for other children. For instance, during a TLC meeting, teens painted pumpkins to match a children's book. Younger children had a blast finding and voting on their favorite painted pumpkin. TLCs meet at East, Northwest, Central, and North branches.
Camilla, aren't you a member of the East TLC and current co-president?
Why, yes, I am. Aren't you a member of TLC, Jacob?
You're darn tootin' I am. And I think any interested teen should absolutely participate.
Me too! Woo! But we're not the only teen volunteers or TLC members here tonight. There are several of us helping expedite tonight's program. We are your ushers, video operators, servers, and cleanup crew. Someone should pick up that pencil, the pen. Hello? Cleanup crew, hello? They're not doing their job tonight, are they? Yeah. Pick it up, man. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Now time to get back to the winners. Will the next winner please come to the podium? Let's give them a round of applause.
Hi, my name is Natalie Bonilbo. This is Nicole Salazar, Ashley Laura, and Ellie Villanueva. We go to the Masters Academy, and our teacher is the lovely Miss Rowland. And our video was called Speak Up, and we got this inspiration from seeing all the bullying that happens in our school and watching the bystanders just like not do anything. So, yeah, here's our video. Thank you very much. I'll just go down the line. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi. My name's Abigail Ferreira. My teacher is Miss Randall, and I'm from Lyman High School. My short story is Gate 5. The glass in his hand shook slightly, while the images from the box flashed in his eyes. He seldom ever watched for news. It always upset him after. This time was different, though. He felt on the verge of an emotional breakdown. His chest heaved, and his mind raced to dark places. He felt the panic swell in his stomach and start to boil over. Tears swam in his brown eyes. He blinked to keep them back. His eyes flickered to the horseshoe over the door and the pile of salt on the floor, and finally to the plane ticket on the table. He had never left the country or even the state, but now he had to. The Malaysian plane had disappeared. Poof, gone, never to be heard from again. His fear had plagued him for so long, and he thought he ought to do something about it. This trip was the perfect excuse to get started. He'd been practicing, starting with opening his door and taking one step out. This lasted about a week. He gradually built it up till he could walk to the grocery store for the first time in 10 years. He put his glass down, stood up, and grabbed his plane ticket, looking at it. When his condition had started to take its toll, He was lucky enough to find a stay-at-home job where he could work on the computer for a business that was located in Germany. He usually took business meetings through Skype, but this time he had told the company that he could fly to the meeting instead. He had made a promise, but that was before the Malaysian flight disaster. Reluctantly, he put the ticket down and proceeded to his room to pack his bags in preparation for the next day. The day of the flight, he called a taxi, arrived at the airport, and flew through security. He had very little luggage. As he walked to his gate, he began to feel the panic swell up in him. Starting in his chest, the tingling sensation traveled throughout his body, and he felt his throat close up. His pace slowed, and people behind him pushed past in agitation. As he rounded the corner, he saw his gate, Gate 5, in red, big black letters. The gate number seemed to punch him in the face. 5, of all unlucky numbers, it was 5. The panic began to spread faster. His eyes bulged and his face turned red. He quickly turned around and proceeded to walk away. His pace quickened until he was in full sprint through the airport, out the glass sliding doors. He didn't think to call a taxi. All he wanted was to get away. He ran to his apartment, and as he climbed up the steps, he felt his heart burst. He had run himself into a heart attack. He clutched at his chest and slid down the front steps. His eyes opened, and he found himself still at the airport, for the whole thing had just been in his mind. His hand was on his heart, and his eyes were resting on the 5. He swallowed hard and tried to slow down his breathing. Taking small steps forward, he reached Gate 5 and handed over his ticket. Boarding the plane, he glanced at his ticket for his seat number and drew a double take. Seat number 13, an even more unlucky number than 5. He stopped walking, till someone behind him yelled for him to move. As he reached his seat, he stared at it. His eyes widened and his breath caught in his throat. A squeak escaped his lips, and he became paralyzed from fear. His legs turned to stone. He was eventually forced to sit down by the flight attendant, but he held on to the arms of the chairs, making his butt hove over the seat, for fear of touching it would bring a plague. When the aircraft took off, he closed his eyes. He kept them closed for some time till he heard the captain's voice come on over the intercom. The captain talked about the weather conditions and how the flight was going to go smoothly. At this, he knocked on the arm of his chair, but looking down, he saw it was plastic, not wood. Knocking on plastic would not help him. It would not protect him from a dreadful fate. The captain stopped talking, but still remained on the air. The next thing he heard the captain say was, "Uh-oh." Thank you.
Hello, my name is Luis Tovar. My teacher is Miss Fry. I go to Crooms Academy of Information Technology, and this is my poster. It is called The Lord of the Rings. My inspiration was, of course, The Lord of the Rings. But not the movies, but the books more so, because the books represent the better forms of literature and something that the movies could never replicate, which is why reading it is a lot better than just watching the movie.
Hello, my name is Zoe Rose. I'm a freshman at Lyman High School, and I would like to thank my teacher, Miss Fields, who's here today. I wrote the short story, But Not Forgotten. All right. It was a bright summer day when Sarah finally talked about the sister that was gone. We were outside in the garden eating mangoes, and a breeze had picked up in the treetops, swaying the world around us. It was a clear day, that much I'm sure of. Not a cloud in the sky, and it seemed like there never would be. Up until then, we had been enjoying our paradise in silence. I don't know what made her start talking, but suddenly she did, and I kept quiet. Sometimes I wish she had just never existed in the first place, she began, her eyes fixed on the bowl of mangoes between us. It would have saved you, me, and everyone else a whole lot of suffering. Herself, too, I guess. I loved June, I really did, but sometimes I wish she had just never existed in the first place. She stopped, looking up at me like I had done something wrong. I kept quiet still, and she continued. Summers were our best times. We used to make hammocks out of plastic bags and string them between the palm trees in our front yard. We'd carefully bring home hardback classics from the library and read them in the house hammocks. Almost every night we'd end up in vicious arguments over the works of Hemingway and Steinbeck, but we'd reconcile an hour later over our mutual love of the Bronte sisters. She dragged me to every corner of town to get something or another for her art. One thing I couldn't deny, no matter how jealous I was of her, was that she was an artist.
or how happy she always was. Okay. Every day was always a great day to her. If it was raining, she'd beg to go into the woods and marvel at how green and alive everything was there. When she cried, she would laugh at the same time. She never wanted to be sad. I don't remember much of June. I had always been the youngest one, the kid sister. She'd always been the sort of ghost in my life, the glamorous older one that I thought was so pretty and who would only give me a red-painted kiss on the cheek at bedtime. But I miss her all the same. A bird called out from somewhere, and Sierra watched it fly away. After it had disappeared from sight, she turned back to me. She was a passionate person, more than anything else. June would hug strangers if they looked like they needed one, but she would just as quickly key the car of a stranger if they looked like they deserved it. She had this very specific idea of right and wrong, and it would usually get her into trouble. But somehow, she'd always emerge from it relatively all right. That's how it always was. I thought she'd always be all right, always right here. I began to grow uncomfortable at the talk of the sister that was gone, and my tongue itched to change the subject. Biting the inside of my cheek, I kept it together for Sierra's sake. She needed me. I think, in that last summer, she sort of knew that she was going to leave. She never wanted to leave, but she knew she was going to. I remember in that August before school started up again, how she'd begun to write and write and write. Nothing about her leaving, just harmless poems about school field trips and our old dog Phoebe. But they were beautiful pieces. I wish I could read them all again, but all those papers went with her. A few nights before she left, she sang. I was used to hearing her hum the melodies of hippie bands nobody else knew, but this was different. We had been walking down towards the gas station, and suddenly she ran ahead and started singing. She was twirling around under the streetlights and she was belting out like she had never felt so free before in her life. But she's gone now, she sighed, smiling sadly. Nothing we can do about it. In that moment, June was infinite. She was in the grass we sat on and in the air we breathed. She ran through the river behind the house and danced in the flowers that got picked up by the wind. She was gone, but right then she was there beside us. She always would be if we needed her like that again. I wish it would rain, Sierra slowly decided. The world is too beautiful right now. It needs to rain, even for just an hour. Then everything would be okay. It rained for a week after that, and then for another. She was distant during that time. Mom told me to let her be alone, and so I didn't argue when she wanted to go to the woods by herself. Sometimes I would climb up on top of the house and see her from the roof, bright yellow in her school sweatshirt against the dense green land. I wasn't spying, just checking on her. I didn't want her to get lost, too. Just before the 4th of July, it stopped raining. The sun came out and so did Sierra. I thought she would be different somehow, but she was still just the same Sierra I always knew. That day we wore crowns of daisy chains and taught our younger cousins how to swim in the river. And everything was okay. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Michael.
I'm Chris, and we are accepting this award on behalf of Jenna Ehrlich, William Griffin, and Daisy Martinez.
This is their video, The Lightning Thief.
I'm just looking for a good book.
It's over there. I hope you find what you're looking for.
Can anyone tell me who Zeus is? Percy?
Zeus, father of the gods and men.
Correct? Okay, class dismissed.
Hey, wait here. I gotta go use the bathroom. I need to walk you home, though, okay?
All right.
So wait.
Okay. I have stuff to do. I can't wait.
to come with me. Don't ask any questions.
Thank you.
My name's Julio Pagan, and I'm from Sanford Middle School, and my teacher's name is Miss Williams. The title of my essay is When I Was Young. When I arrived in Aguada, Puerto Rico, my eyes were bouncing from one object to the other. Many variety of plants and trees stood around the airport. Different kinds of birds flew back and forth and around the plane. Click, click, the airplane door opened, and a fresh breeze of air entered the plane. Stepping out of the airplane door, I felt like I was totally in another world. Paradise, I said. When I was in Puerto Rico, the food was nothing like back home. It wasn't like going to the supermarket and buying groceries. It was fresh food from the family's backyard farm. The fruits didn't have any chemicals on them. They hand-picked them and were right off the stem, ready to be eaten. Delicious, delicious. When I was in Puerto Rico, the water was incredibly clear. It wasn't too cold, nor was it too hot. Many types of fish swam around me, and it was something I have never experienced before. Dolphins came out of the water and went back in. No trash was lying in the water, and no shells poked me during my time in the water. When I was in Puerto Rico, the weather was extremely hot. Everywhere I went, the back of my shirt would stick on me due to the hotness. Every night, I would blast the air conditioner to the max to keep myself cool. Only the cool breeze from the air conditioner would help me achieve a restful sleep after a long, hot day. When I was in Puerto Rico, I never wanted to go to Costa Rica, and I never wanted to go to Nicaragua. I never wanted to go anywhere else in the world, for I was in Puerto Rico, and that was always enough.
My name is Cassandra Brown, and I go to Crooms Academy. My teacher is Miss Fry, and I made the poster House of Leaves. So my poster was inspired by the staircase, which is one of the central points in the book. It's a staircase that seems to go down into the earth forever, and it's actually revealed that the staircase is deeper than the circumference of the earth itself. So I designed the poster to look like the words were sort of falling into this endless pit. And yeah.
Hello, my name is Connor O'Malley. My teacher is Miss Suzanne Hakimapur, and I am an 8th grader at St. Luke's. The title for my short story was Getting Your Way for Dummies, dog version. A cat's life, lazy. A cow's life, grassy. A horse's life, gluey. A dog's life, fabulous. Hello, my name is Toby O'Malley, and I have a PhD in begging and persuading. I've been in a family for 35 years, 5 human years, and have mastered all the things a dog needs to know about having the best life possible. Lesson 1, begging. With great food comes great responsibility. To achieve the fairly challenging skill of begging, one must have a persuasive mindset. The most effective times to beg are in the morning and evening. Breakfast and dinner are the meals when the humans take out the juicy and delicious meats like maple-flavored bacon, rotisserie chicken, and juicy char-grilled steak. An important begging tactic at the breakfast and dinner table is going to the most vulnerable person. Using your big puppy dog eyes, always make eye contact with that most vulnerable person. Maybe even shed a tear. While begging, you should start off with giving them a nice, slow, gentle paw to the thigh, almost like a wrist bump. Then, rest your warm head on the lap of that most vulnerable person, and finally, with a few high-pitched whines, you should at least have some crispy, smoked, and warm bacon in your mouth. Now, let me tell you a story when I got in trouble for pawing the cook's leg. It all started when the cook turned on the frying pan. I could smell that savory, sizzling sausage from miles away. I walked in a daze to the kitchen and went up to paw the cook's leg, but since I was in dog heaven, I wasn't paying attention and accidentally pawed the new stainless steel oven. Let's just say I didn't get any of that delicious sausage. Lesson 2, persuading. Persuading is one of the most important skills a dog can learn. Going in the car for a dog is like going to Disney World for humans. If you want to be able to secure a spot in the family car, you must pay attention to the activity in the house. As soon as people are rushing, getting ready, and picking up car keys, backpacks, and purses, you must get up, grab your leash, and bring it to them. They will be so impressed they will want to bring you. When the humans open the door to the garage, quickly take advantage of this opportunity and sprint to the car door. When the car door opens, secure your spot and let no one take it. If they say you cannot go, just dodge their hands and jump to the back seat and give the look that says, "My heart will be broken if I have to stay home alone again." If they try to pull you out of the car, just use your dead weight, lie down, and don't move. Humans think they can control us. However, to get what we want, we need to find our alpha and time it right to get things that matter most, like bacon, walking off leash, and going on car rides. Remember, perseverance pays off.
Hello, my name is Trevor Beach. I'm homeschooled. Well, now I'm primarily self-taught, but my mom still teaches me stuff. Anyway, this is my poster, aptly entitled Reading. And I just like to thank this opportunity now to thank Diane Keyes for giving me the opportunity to volunteer at the library and the Teen Library Council and all that, so I just want to say thank you.
I'm Cassidy. This is Kayla and Parker, and we're 8th graders at St. Luke's Lutheran School in Oviedo, and our teacher is Mrs. Susan Hikimopor. She's back there. Hi. We were reading War of the Worlds in class together, and we had a project. We could choose many different ways to express it, and we chose to do a trailer as if it was going to be a movie. So, it's one of those.
My name is Jacob Ritter, and My teacher is Mrs. Hakimapour. My school is St. Luke's Lutheran School, and the title of my story is The Legend of the Wild Cat. Kenny awoke suddenly from a brief nap. He had no idea where he was, but only for a moment. Soon it came back to him. He was in the locker room. It was game day. He had been waiting for this day all his life. Even though he had just become the mascot for his school's basketball team a few months ago, he felt like he was always meant to do this, to be the mascot. He felt as if this were his destiny, the path planned out for him before he was even born. The school's team was the St. Luke's Wildcats, and he was the man in the Wildcat suit. Today was one of the biggest games of the season. He had to do his best. He had to be the best Wildcat mascot ever. At the time of his awakening, he was already fully clothed in the Wildcat attire, except for his head. He grabbed the Wildcat head and walked over to the mirror. Before he donned the head of the ferocious beast, he looked at himself in the mirror. His skin was pale, he was very skinny, and his eyes were red and strained. He was a mess, but that would all go away soon. He dramatically put on the Wildcat head. Now he was no longer a man, but instead a Wildcat. He began marching out of the locker room. He heard the screams of the audience, cheering on the team. He felt a massive surge of adrenaline. He pranced out onto the court and danced around. He flailed all over the place. He waved his arms. He shook his tail. He screamed the chant of the Wildcats, which he made up as he went along. Go, go, Wildcats. We are the Wildcats. The other team are unwildcats. Yeah, oh yeah. Compared to our wildness, you're very tame. Compared to our awesomeness, you're very lame. Booyah, Kenny screamed. The crowd was unimpressed. In fact, they even started to boo. Kenny had to fix this. He did more wild gestures, more crazy things. He roared like a beast. He pranced and galloped like an animal. He mimicked licking his fur like a cat would do. This only made the crowd boo more. Kenny watched in terror as all the people he had gone to school with booed and mocked him. Jack, Sam, Joe, Bob, they all laughed. Kimberly, Thomas, Justin, they all booed. All these kids destroying the Wildcat spirit. Kenny shed a single tear. Then he ran, away from the court, outside the gym, away from the school campus, miles away from town, all while still being fully clothed in the Wildcat uniform. His confidence was at an all-time low. He planned to go live in the wilderness and mountains. There he could fully embrace his inner Wildcat, his inner beast. He could be what he always wanted to be on the inside. One day later, he was in the heart of the wild. While he was walking around, he saw a wild mountain lion. Kenny smiled. Now was the time to dominate, to prove himself as the superior Wildcat. Kenny was ready to challenge this Wildcat to a duel and win. Then he'd finally regain some confidence in himself. Kenny roared a mighty roar. He prepared his body for a deadly pounce. The Wildcat stared back at him. Kenny full-on charged at the Wildcat, ready for blood. Kenny got closer and closer to the mighty Wildcat. Each step he took filled him with more excitement, more glee, more adrenaline. This is it, he thought. Two Wildcats were about to clash, him and the beast. Closer he got. He was almost there, so very close. The Wildcat instantly and brutally murdered Kenny. He tore him limb from limb and ate almost all of his flesh. Kenny was found 2 days later by a random homeless man. The cops were informed. A funeral was held. 2 people showed up. The school grieved for him, but they soon moved on. He was replaced by another Wildcat mascot. The general consensus among students was that this Wildcat was much better. Kenny was eventually forgotten by all. He was only a distant, faded memory for even those who were the closest to him. Kenny, the wildest of Wildcats, had been forgotten. 7 millennia later, all humanity was dead. All life was dead, except for one creature, the Wildcat that killed Kenny. The majestic Wildcat approached the grave of Kenny and bowed its head in respect. It saw Kenny as a worthy opponent. When all of humanity had forgotten Kenny the Wildcat, at least the fellow Wildcat had remembered him.
Fantastic second half, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, our evening has come to an end. Sadly, yes. But the evening would not be complete without thanking you, the supportive families, friends, media specialists, teachers, and librarians. We want to thank you for your attendance this evening and for your encouragement of all Seminole County teens. Teen Read Fest has come to an end. We only have 2 things left to say.
Actually, we have 3. We have one more volunteer award to announce. You may have noticed that Camilla is very involved as a volunteer for the library. She is co-president of the TLC, participates in a teen puppet group, was a library intern last summer, and is a host tonight. And because of these accomplishments and more, the library nominated Camilla for the 2014 Community Volunteer Excellence Awards Program for Heart of Florida United Way. The inaugural event recognized contributions that impact nonprofit, government, faith-based, and educational organizations across Orange, Seminole, Osceola counties. An independent panel selected winners from 59 nominations submitted by more than 35 organizations, and Camilla won for the Outstanding Youth Volunteer Award. Woo. Now we only have 2 things left. 1, winners, please come to the stage and have your picture taken.
2, thank you again for coming.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.